So we probably have 4 Spetsnaz. Coming in right there. Some mercenaries. Waffen. So he's already taken out the neutrals there. We're gonna lure. I don't know if he's gonna... Okay, so he's gonna move in on those, use the defense buff, and he roared him. So we should be able to take that pretty quick. We got an early barracks going down. He took the port first. It's worth 135, so that's the most over here. Still not seeing any land out of red. He's gonna go and lure Istanbul, maybe Sofia. Yeah, so he's gonna pull both of those into the same spot. No trench going down, but we got a barracks coming out. His must have been pulled into the 2-star forts. You can see Francis took some damage, Purple's did. Gonna capture Switzerland. We see Red trying to micro the hostiles over here. If he's not quick enough, he's gonna get these respawning on him in Bucharest. No commander yet, it looks like, from either player. Check income, 25, 21. It still looks like Dino has the stronger start. Got some trade ships in this version. It's gonna lure these people up to here. Might be an issue, might not. If these hostiles end up spawning, they could take out at least a few of the troops there. Let's see, looks like we have 3 groups of hostiles running in. Kind of unfavorable to fight at that choke because they have the aura there. We'll see if he gets this in time. Looks like he's going to. I think 1200. 15's where the cities trade out.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Still pushing up north, so we got these guys that just expired there. Red's starting to push Poland a little bit. We got what I'm guessing is going to be an artillery factory. Yep. So Red's going to try and put the pressure up on Poland and be able to push up Berlin. Kind of keeping these bases here as a screen. So if Purple pushes through them, it'll slow them down a bunch. Whereas Red can kind of just set up some defenses in Poland. We'll see if Purple ends up pushing up here to this port. And the iron up there in the north. Red's kind of getting pulled in here a little bit. It's not really going to do a whole lot. He might lose 1 or 2 troops. Nothing he can't handle. Securing this port will be best overall, but this quarry is really the top income thing in Scandinavia. in the short term. It is nice he got it right before that port spawn though, because trade ships can be worth a couple hundred gold. They spawn every other turn. We're gonna see the artillery starting to come up. Still no secondary factory. So we see a front starting to open up here in northern Scandinavia. Got Dino pushing Poland, countering with his own trenches. It looks like all of his troops are going to come around and he's just going to push Poland really hard. We got a few artillery building up, so that could be pretty helpful. Looks like we have one upgrade on both sides.
Our allied town is under
We
siege.
have an Israel. I don't know who the fuck else. And a Cuba for who knows why. Anyways. This artillery are really gonna put in some work here at this narrow choke. Even with them though, the battle line, you see Purple's got a lot more units getting damage out and there's just not enough artillery to really make it work. This commander goes down or all these artillery die, I mean that's
Our
gonna
allied town is under
be pretty
siege.
hard for red to come back from, but it looks like Purple is not gonna push the
Our
artillery.
allied hero has fallen.
381, 425. I mean, it's not an unwinnable position for red.
Our allied town is under siege.
We'll see if he lets this hero here get killed. And he doesn't. If he pulls back to the Star Fort, he can maybe come out of it. We're seeing
Our allied town is under
maybe
siege.
a couple thousand in units here versus 900 or so with the two artillery. There, losing that port's gonna hurt a little bit,
Our allied town is
but he
under
won't
siege.
feel those effects right away. So we'll just kind of see what happens right here. Depending on how this front goes, it could be pretty hit or miss.
Our allied town is under siege.
Ideally, he wants to defend right here because he has this city buff and his defense buff. Look at that, plus 15 armor compared to the 9. I mean, it's just so good.
Our allied
Losing
town
that
is
city,
under
the
siege.
damage is going to go down. Purple's going to start getting buffed. These units look like they were late to the fight there from Ukraine.
Our allied
We
town
still
is
see
under siege.
pressure being applied here in Finland. Germany can kind of just distract at this front and just run these units deep into Siberia
Our
or
allied
somewhere
town is under siege.
and really just constantly harass. So looks like Purple's probably training more special forces.
Our allies' town is under siege.
This is a pretty bad position to push from if he gets caught out of position here. Really, Red could try and retake Minsk. See what the incomes are. 3,000, 4,000. Little bit of a difference.
Our allies' town is under siege.
But again, one unfavorable push from Dino could really even things out. That's probably gonna be GG though. I don't know, this south, see, has got all these units and they're kind of just trickling in here, but pushing from the north, they're gonna come in and take out a lot of his forces. We can see what spawns. If he gets some units to spawn in here, yeah, and he ended up taking out all of his infantry, so not a bad counter push. Dino's still gonna be ahead
Our allies' town is under
in
siege.
income. It looks like they have similar gold reserves. Got one of his artillery that was kind of big, so now he's just got the two. If he can control the fight and keep it over here in Russia, he's going to stand a better chance than trying to push up into Poland. What Purple needs to do is come down here into the Balkans. Knowing Dino, he might just try and push straight into Belarus, but nope, looks like he had the same idea. Once you kind of get caught up, you gotta just reassess your tactics and go for something else. So he's got a little bit of time to try and take some of this stuff while Red's gonna be pushing back and trying to regain that position in Poland. I saw his Murmansk that was lost, so looks like he might come up here, and with how spaced out this stuff is, there's not really a lot to take. It's only like 6 cities, and they're just, I mean, they're only 25 income apiece.
Our allies' town is under siege.
So yeah, we can see there he's starting to build his forces back up. You see we got trenches being pushed out. I'm pretty sure Red's government leader is still dead. He didn't revive him. That would have been an extra 500 or 600 gold. So he doesn't have the option of the forward roar, which could really help turn the tide if they get into it, because Purple's army is definitely larger. He's probably going to be able to sweep Greece and then come in here, and then he's...
Our allies' town is under siege.
So he's slowly starting to pressure up. Looks like he's starting to put up troops in Finland. Poland back. He realized Purple's down here in the Balkans, so he's probably going to rush to Istanbul maybe and try and defend it. But he's just not going to be able to get there in time. Purple's going to head him off, and it's going to be a pretty unfavorable battle trying to push through this choke point right here.
Our allies' town is under siege.
That's just... yeah, so he's pulling back. That's not at all worth it to try and pursue.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Taking this iron mine will be good. If you can get up here to this port and try to set up a defensive position right here and kind of surround parts of Berlin. So even though Purple does have Balkans, it's not a huge issue if Red has some defenses here in Poland and kind of walls off the north. Purple's still ahead in income. It's actually a better lead now, about 1,300.
Our allies' town is under siege.
We'll see. He probably needs to get his artillery here, and he can try and get Purple's army up in this choke. Maybe he can be right here if he can capture Budapest and use its aura. But ideally he wants to fight probably up here in Poland and have Purple's army filtering through some of these smaller choke points.
Our allies' town is under siege.
He's got one unit retaking that port. We got some idle units up here. That's never productive. Looks like he's moving them now.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Purple's kind of rethinking. Might wrap all the way back around north. He should probably keep some units in the south just so he doesn't have to move his entire army around, because he's always got this option to come west.
Our allies' town
Even if
is under
Red comes
siege.
down here from Poland, instead of retreating north to Germany, he can go west to Italy. And it kind of keeps that protected, because Rome itself is worth 300, which is, I mean, almost as much as the
Our
entire
allies'
Balkans.
town is under siege.
So he's back up to 3 artillery. We got level 4 commanders on both sides. No trenches here on the side of Germany. Although he's got a lot more units, he can kind of just overwhelm this entire thing. Doesn't care about the trenches, doesn't care about the auras. He just completely overwhelmed him. Not much. He's gonna kill the hero. His tank factory is not gonna do anything. Hero's down. Purple's got this huge army. I mean, he actually managed to jump up a bit in income after taking northern Scandinavia, but it's just not enough. It looks like he wants to keep fighting, but I don't really see this ending any way but bad for the PurpleWizard.
Our allies' town is under siege.
He's got a tank, no artillery, and it looks like he's just gonna push. I mean, if he just pushes east, it's gonna spread him so thin. He won't be able to defend anything. Only Moscow, and I mean, it looks like he's trying to force a push Moscow, or hope that he does, but that's just not gonna happen.
Our allies' town is under siege. 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 Our allies' town is under siege.
I don't know what these are doing here, but gonna say that is GG.
Our allies' town is under siege.